Hey guys, so I'm first gonna do my analysis and then I will actually, obviously you're gonna get my thoughts through here, but if I have any other thoughts just laying around after, I will share those too, because this was definitely one of our most interesting reads, and it was something that caught my attention very easily and made me think of things a little differently. Okay, so first off, the quote I chose was, the text celebrates sperm production because it is continuous from puberty to senescence, while they portray egg production as inferior because it is finished at birth. This makes the female seem unproductive, but some texts will also insist that it is she who is wasteful. So something I noticed about this passage is that it is presumed that females are wasteful just because they don't use every egg that they are born with. I also noticed that egg production is seen as less just because when you're born with a set amount of eggs. It is significant to notice this because no one takes into account all of the sperm that are wasted when a male masturbates. At least when a female masturbates, she's not wasting millions of sperm, so or millions of eggs, I should say. It's also important to notice that egg production is seen as less because you're born with a certain amount of eggs. But you would think, it's important to note this though, because you would think that it would be seen as superior and kind of amazing because you're unable to produce more eggs. You're born with your set amount of eggs. Boys are allowed to every day produce millions of sperm, yet you get the set number and that's it. That's just crazy to me. Anyways, the passage implies that the female reproduction system is being penalized and brought down because they are born with their set amount of eggs, whereas the male, I said reproductive process, but sperm production, I think I meant, is seen as superior because they can produce every day. And females are wasteful for not using all of their eggs. By using the word celebrate to describe men's sperm production, and then using the word inferior to describe women's reproduction system, it allows readers to see what Martin is talking about when they show the inequality when talking about the two systems. She literally, just by using those two words, they're so completely different, it shows you what the author that wrote those words meant, was trying to say, and you probably didn't even realize it. I don't know. Anyways, this passage relates perfectly to the work as a whole, because the rest of the work continues to highlight just how inferior the female reproductive system is always made out to look, opposed to the male sperm production. The passage, however, fails to acknowledge what other scientists say about actual pregnancy. It gets you to the process of becoming pregnant, but it doesn't go through the baby growing in the 9 months and all that interesting stuff of all that interesting development that happens when you're actually pregnant. So I'm interested to know what they actually think about that, because that wasn't mentioned. So it's just something I thought about. This kind of relates to Nietzsche, because Nietzsche talks about nature in the article we read by him, or the book we read by him. Nietzsche talks about nature and and focuses on the fact that humans aren't responsible for everything, even though they think they are. Things have happened before humans, continue to happen among humans without like their help, and will probably continue to happen after humans. Then in this passage, it talks about nature just in a different sense than Nietzsche talks about it. It talks about human nature, and part of that human nature is reproduction. It also relates because it shows the, like, I don't know how to word this, like self-absorbment people have when comparing men and women, and how men are always looked at as superior. Like, it shows like that pride and like that willingness to like put someone down, I guess I want to say. Like, just to say that you're better, I guess. This aspect relates to the gender inequality fight that has been going on in this country for decades, because more often in what you are reading, you don't even acknowledge the fact that it's bringing women down and making men superior and making the women inferior. So it also, which goes along with the fact that it makes you view writing differently, because you notice like how she points out how inferior women are treated when in reality they're supposed to be equal. Like, they share the same amount of responsibility that happens during reproduction, like, you know, pregnancy and whatnot, and getting pregnant. So it definitely makes you think about past works that you have read and make you think about what you may have missed from those past things, because we've been learning about sex ed since middle school, and this is the first time I have ever seen anything about sex ed be viewed that way. And the more you think about it, the more, like, it's so true. Like, I didn't even know that the female egg helps, like, has like an inside to it that the sperm has to chemically break down to get past, and then like it seals itself up to like keep the sperm trapped in. Like, that's just so wild to me. Like, I didn't even know that. And then how are they gonna go and criticize a woman's uterus for being scarred and looking disgusting or whatnot because it has gone through the trauma of menstruating every month? Like, I don't understand how you're gonna compare that. Yet no one like even says anything when males are wasting millions of sperm. Like, probably more than once a week, like, in reality. So that definitely blew my mind. I was utterly speechless, and I'm still utterly speechless on that whole topic, because I never thought about it that way, when in reality people need to start thinking about it that way, because it's definitely affected our society today without even realizing it. So those are just some thoughts. Oh, and my rhetorical summary. My rhetorical summary was part of my goal in writing this article is to shine a bright light on gender stereotypes hidden within the scientific language of biology. So mine was, Martin is hoping to expose gender stereotypes in scientific language. That was my rhetorical summary. So I'm just about to say 10 minutes, so goodbye.